This is Nick Stevens from the 90s Entertainment Show, and you are listening to Two Dudes and an S. Or is it Two Dudes and an NES? I don't know. Whatever it is, you're listening to it.
Hey, Justin.
What's up, man?
I haven't seen you in forever.
I know. It's been so long. Over a month?
It's like a month.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure we lost probably half our listeners in that month, you know?
Oh, yeah. They're done with us.
Well, that's unacceptable. That's why I'm here, to get this thing back on track.
Right.
Again, we had to bring John in to get us back on track. If you recall, last time we took a break, John came in, trained us up so we could get back on track.
Right.
We brought him in again.
I'm the special guest star to help get things on track.
Right.
Every time we take a break, John's always there to say,
To revive.
hey, stop taking a break.
Right.
I'm the
Exactly.
Apollo Creed in Rocky 3.
Right.
Except I don't die.
Can I be Dolph Lundgren?
If you
Oh,
want.
man. If I can be
Good
Mr. T. I'll let
Russian.
that be Mr. T. All right.
So who's Rocky? Yeah, anyways. It doesn't matter.
We'll address
No.
that on our Rocky podcast.
Nobody wants to be Rocky. We just want to be the bad guys.
Yeah. Or Apollo Creed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Either the bad guys or the black guy.
Yeah.
Racist.
We're racist.
All right.
So, we do have a special guest. It's John. As per our post-break guest is John.
Right.
So, John, do you have anything you'd like to shout out?
Just happy to be here. Thanks to the Two Dudes in the Nest for having me on and putting up with my shenanigans.
Sweet. We like shenanigans.
Right.
And also, I feel bad, Justin, because every time we do our show, we never shout out the Retro Junkies. You know?
Right.
We always just say, hey, we're Two Dudes in an S, and we're the only show in the world.
Yeah.
So, I'd like to just take a moment at the beginning of the show here to tell people to look up the Retro Junkies. It's a podcast network, has lots of good shows. If I tried to call them all out, I would get lost. But just a couple who have given us mentions recently, I would say the Retro Obscura show and Atari 2600 and Atari 7800. Both game-by-game podcasts. Something like a Genesis Games, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Those guys
something
are-
like that. Yeah.
They're in there too. Anyways, so Retro Junkies, go check them out.
So anyway, yeah, Super Mario Brothers 2. Love this game.
Do you have history about this game?
Justin's historical tidbits and trivia.
I do have history about this game. And it's history in a special format. It's a quiz game.
Special format.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, quiz game.
Quiz game.
All right.
Do we need buzzers?
Okay, Mike, explain to John the buzzer. How that works.
The buzzer is your name. That's
Okay.
it. Your name is your buzzer. So your name is John. You say John, that's your buzzer. My name is Michael, but I'm going with Mike to be competitive. Since
What if I accidentally say Mike?
then I get to answer.
What if you just say, like, Josh?
Wait, can I...
Hey, wait, yeah, new rule to the game. I think I know where you're going here. If you think I don't know the answer, you can say Mike and force me to try to answer.
Yes. That'd be funny.
Ooh, that's a good strategy. That's a good strategy.
That would only work if we had nega points.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'd have to
I see this
design this. So,
Yeah, I see this increasing in complexity really quickly.
yeah.
Well, this is the
Yeah.
crew who invented melon,
That is true.
which I don't know if we've ever described that on the show, but that's for another show. I think we have.
We've talked
In
about
3
it.
words, it's full contact wiffle ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, 3, 4.
That's 4. It's is it-
Wiffle ball is one word.
Hyphenated.
okay.
I'm always... Anyway.
I don't know.
Quiz time.
All right, quiz time. When released in Japan, the American Super Mario Brothers 2 was called what? A.
Mike.
Mike. What?
Doki Doki Panic.
No. So,
Do you want the Japanese name?
Yes.
no.
I don't know.
All right, so you're out.
Doka doka
I think
panika.
you're confusing something we'll discuss later. But John, here's your choices. A. Super Mario USA. B. Dream Mario. C. Bizarro
Poorly
Mario.
worded question.
D. Team Mario.
Poorly worded question.
How dare you.
John.
John?
A.
Yes. So, Mike, you obviously thought that we were going for the original. But I guess it should have been worded when I did say the American version, so...
I don't think you did. You just
Roll
said
the
when
tape.
Super Mario Brothers 2 was released in
No,
Japan.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, John heard it. So...
Yeah, of course John heard it. He got the answer right. Go ahead.
All
Moving
right.
on. Moving on.
Justin will go back and edit him saying the question.
It's going to sound really weird. It's going to be like, when American Super Mario Brothers 2 was...
Anyway, I'm winning. 1-0.
So, the original Super Mario Brothers 2 released in Japan was decidedly not to be released in the US. What system was it eventually released for? A. The NES.
Mike.
B. The, what? What?
Mike?
Mike? Listening.
Super Nintendo?
Yes, Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo?
Yep. As what was the title?
Super Mario All-Stars.
Yeah, was Lost Levels was the game.
Well, Lost Levels, yeah, but it was in the All-Stars collection.
You don't get a bonus point for that. You didn't.
So the original Super Mario Bros. 2 was Lost Levels that didn't get released in the US because they decided that it was too difficult and they wanted the Mario game to not be that difficult. So, did you ever think Lost Levels was really difficult?
It was fairly difficult.
Yeah.
It's like impossible.
Yeah. So,
It's
they thought
really
it-
hard.
And by like impossible, I mean it is impossible.
Yeah. They didn't want it to be... They didn't want people to get frustrated with the Mario franchise for a difficult game, so that's why they just didn't release it. Alright. The original design...
Which is funny when you think about it, because like all NES games are impossible.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Not all of them, but a large majority of them are.
They're difficult. I would say more difficult than today's game. But, anyway. 3. The third question. The original design of the game by Kensuke Tanabe had what unique feature? Is it A. Vertical ascension, B. Descending gameplay, C. Fight sequences, D. Hangman-like bonus levels?
John.
John?
A.
It is A. Vertical ascension. The
Hey, can I
original-
ask something? Can you clarify the question? Are we talking about the original version of this game or the original version of Super Mario Brothers 2 before it was released in Japan or America? This quiz game is confusing me.
Well, this, and I probably should have clarified that. This is talking about the original design for after, not Lost Levels, but the original design after that. Okay?
Okay.
I don't want to say
Alright.
anything because
Moving.
that's the next question. The original design came to be what Famicom game? Is it A. Azuruda no Desensu? B. Adian no Su? C. Yume Kojo Doki Doki Panic?
Mike,
D.
I'm assuming it's C.
Yeah, it's C.
C.
Right. So see, the previous question should have
I
came...
feel like John kind of let me have that question.
Well, that was,
The previous question,
I
I
had
guess,
it earlier.
should have came after that question, which would have made more sense. So I apologize for that.
Yeah, that's okay. It's okay. We're all at 2-2.
I was waiting. Yeah,
We're-
I was
we're
waiting for
trying.
like the trick, like for like some sort of trick answer.
Yeah.
Okay, well the next 3 questions won't be that bad. Alright.
Okay. All right.
So 5. Doki Doki is a Japanese onomatopoeia for what? A. The sound of fluttering legs. B, the sound of a mouse squeaking.
I hope so.
C, the sound of a quickly beating heart. D, the sound of music.
John.
John?
I'll say C.
It is C, the sound of a quickly beating heart. Doki doki.
It's kind of like Pac-Man. Pac-Man was Paku Paku Man. It's the sound of eating.
Right.
Paku Paku.
Right.
So it's like doki 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 doki.
Well, it's, I figured like your heart, panic. That seemed like it sort of went together.
Yeah. Okay.
This quiz game is a disaster.
No, it's not. I'm winning.
Okay. Question 6. So there's 7 questions, and John could actually win with this one. 6. How many copies of Super Mario?
I'm cutting his mic off.
Yeah. How many copies of Super Mario Bros. 2 were sold? Is it A, 5 million, B, 10 million, C, 15 million, or D, 3 million?
John.
John?
C.
Nope.
Can I get further clarification? Is this only for NES, or is this across the board for all systems? Is this?
This is only NES. This is the game that we play. Super Mario
Okay,
Bros. 2.
I want to say 5 million.
Okay, so nobody takes that point. It was 10 million.
Okay. Nobody gets that one.
Okay.
Okay, so if John gets this next question, or nobody gets this next question, John wins. If Mike gets this, we're going to have to go to some kind of bonus level. So, let's see what happens.
Well, John is actually live in house with me, so I'm thinking we just duke it out.
Potato
we
sack race?
just fight. Yes.
Potato sack race, yes, okay. Alright, Nintendo Power ranked it on what? On the greatest NES games of all time. Is it A, 8? Is it B, 10th? Is it C, 23rd? Or D, 33rd?
Mike.
Mike?
I'm going to go 23rd.
You would be incorrect. Alright, John. It looks like you've won. Because even if you miss this, you win.
Don't rub salt in the wound. Miss this question.
I'll say 10th. That was one of the choices,
that
right?
was close,
10th?
yeah. But it was ranked 8th. So,
Really?
8 all time. Yeah.
We may get into a little bit of issue for me, but with that ranking later in the show. But
Well, it was ranked. Let's
We'll
just
get there.
say this.
We'll get
Let's just say this. It was ranked 8th by Nintendo Power. Of course, Nintendo's not going to not rank Mario high. Let's just say that.
I got you.
So,
I'm just not paying attention to the questions in this show because for some reason I heard you say IGN.
oh gosh,
So,
Excuses.
he's just mad because he usually wins, and he's lost. So,
yeah, I think my total record is still in the win column. So, and I did beat John at the Punch Out quiz. So
That's fine. I'm 1-1 overall.
that's okay.
All right. So, Mike, did you have this game? I've got a feeling you just had this game.
Michael's quest to find the cart.
Yeah, I got this one when I was a kid, and I don't remember when I got it. See, the thing is, I don't have a good memory of when or how I got the games when I was a kid. I just remember, I had it. I got it as a kid, which kind of stinks because I like having a story with my games, but with this game, I don't really have a story. I did make my own custom case for it, so there's that.
Sweet. So
Classic.
I've got a little bit of a story. I used to rent this game repetitively from the rental trailer place, and eventually my parents just got it for me because I rented it so many times. So
They just got it for you.
yeah,
They figured they'd save money that way.
right. I remember renting this game constantly. I loved this game for some reason as a kid, and I can specifically remember that my dad played Super Mario Brothers, the original, and he played 3, but he hated this one. So, but we'll talk more about stuff like that in the gameplay. Now, I did want to say, I was digging through some of my old Nintendo games, and I found two interesting things. One, I found the manual to this game, the original manual. And
Sweet.
two. I said one, so two. I found
One, B, whatever.
and the second thing I found was a old receipt from Pick-a-Flick for a couple of games. So,
Really?
I remember
Awesome.
Pick-a-Flick.
yeah. So,
You better keep that.
oh yeah, I'm definitely keeping that.
That'll be worth something.
No, but it's got a lot of nostalgia to it.
Right.
Hey, you mentioned that your parents eventually bought you the game because you rented it so much at the rental store.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just thinking, I said it'd save them money that way, but then no. Because I remember back when I was a kid, if I rented a game a lot and then my parents maybe eventually bought it for me, yeah, that's all good. But I still wanted to go like every weekend to rent a game.
Yeah.
So they didn't really
say.
save any
You
money.
just meant you were renting a different game.
Yeah, just renting a different game at that point. Yeah. So anyway. So, you want to
All
talk
right.
about gameplay?
I do want to talk about the game, but first, can we mention one of our sponsors?
Sure.
We're almost done mentioning sponsors altogether because of, thankfully, from our Patreon people, which we'll mention at the end of the show. But we do have a few obligations we'd like to fulfill and some cool people we'd like to mention.
And let us say that we don't dislike our sponsors.
No, we like them a lot.
Yeah, it's just that we might not need you anymore.
Yeah,
But we still like you.
I mean, sponsors. You could become a Patreon person too if you just want to support the show without the sponsorship thing, which I don't know if you do or not. But anyways, G&T podcast. It's a film podcast. I mentioned it. I think I mentioned it at the end of the last show, at the very, very end. So people may not have heard it. I hope they heard it. Otherwise, our sponsors may get mad at us. But G&T podcast, it's cool. It's a film podcast. I'm probably the only one of us three that's listened to it, although you guys should because it's pretty funny. And then they do. I can't remember what the last thing they did. I think they were like going through the worst films of all time list at one point,
Ooh.
and it was just funny. I don't know.
Something.
You know, people normally go through the top best films lists and stuff. So it was funny that they were going through the worst.
I would almost rather talk
Was
about the
Made in
worst
Manhattan on
games.
there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
funny because like we talk about worst sometimes,
Mhm.
and those are always fun to talk about.
And John, how dare you with the Made in Manhattan comment? That movie is a national treasure. It's a national treasure.
Come on.
Okay, how about National Treasure?
Yeah, oh, okay. That would also belong on the list.
I'll agree with you on that one.
Okay, so let's talk about the game.
The game discussion.
Okay, first of all, for all the people that are watching this live, which is probably none, I want to
Oh,
show
one
you
of
this.
them.
We have one person.
This is my old game pack case. I thought that was pretty cool. Found this the other day.
Sweet.
Oh, that's awesome.
I like that.
And I was going to show you this. Pick-a-Flick receipt.
It's big.
Sweet. Is that one of the like dot matrix printers?
Oh yeah, and you had to
Yes.
tear off the sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, yes. Now, here's the thing. Here's what I rented on, let's see, this is October 16th, 1998. NFL Blitz, WCW versus NWO, and Indian in the
Nice.
Cupboard. So,
Indian in the cupboard. Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
that was the rentals from that date.
So you watched Indian in the cupboard while playing wrestling and football.
Yeah.
Yes. And I like how you said wrestling. Wrestling.
Wrestling and football.
So anyway, here we are. Super Mario Brothers 2. Alright. Would you like to read the story behind Super Mario Brothers 2?
Please do, please.
Alright. One
Story time.
evening, Mario had a strange dream. He dreamt of a long, long stairway leading up to a door. As soon as the door opened, he was confronted with a world he had never seen before, spreading out as far as his eyes could see. When he strained his ears to listen, he heard a faint voice saying, "Welcome to Subcon, the land of dreams. We have been cursed by Wart, and we are completely under his evil spell.
I've been there.
We have been awaiting your arrival. Please defeat Wart and return Subcon to its natural state. The curse of Wart has put on you in the real world will not have any effect upon you here. Remember, Wart hates vegetables. Please help us. At the same time, this was heard, a bolt of lightning flashed before Mario's eyes. Stunned, Mario lost his footing and tumbled upside down. He awoke with a start to find himself sitting up in his bed. To clear his head, Mario talked to Luigi, Toad, and Princess about the strange dream he had. They decide to go to a nearby mountain for a picnic. After arriving at the picnic area and looking at the scenery, they see a small cave nearby.
Because that's what I do.
Yeah.
When I get stressed out by my dreams, I go have a picnic. Sorry.
When they enter this cave, to their great surprise, there's a stairway leading up and up and up. It is exactly like the one Mario saw in his dream. They all walk together up the stairs. At the top, they find a door, just like the one in Mario's dream. When Mario and his friends, in fear, open the door, to their surprise, the world he saw in his dreams spreads out before them. Ooh. So, yeah.
So,
Yeah, we need to take a break here.
Okay.
Yeah,
We need to talk about this.
so is it just me or does Wart sound like every 5-year-old ever who hates his vegetables?
I hate vegetables.
I love how
And
they
you must-
threw that in.
And and just like a 5-year-old, the only way to defeat them is by throwing vegetables at them.
Wait,
Yes.
Yeah.
Justin has the most experience with trying to get kids to eat vegetables, probably.
And you just throw it at them, right? That's how that works.
Actually, my daughter loves vegetables. Her favorite snack is carrots, which is weird because I don't really care for carrots. She just loves them.
Huh.
So,
She's going to have like 18-20 vision.
Yeah.
yeah. No, wait a minute.
Good idea there. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You don't want her to have 18-20 vision?
Isn't that bad?
It'd be 2018 vision, right?
Yeah,
2018.
is
Whatever it
what
is.
I want.
No.
Yeah. So, anyway.
Sorry, I got things
Well,
backwards.
I think if you lower that first number, it means you have like 3 eyes or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I hadn't seen Leah in a while, so she may have 3 eyes.
Do I need to explain those numbers to you?
Does that happen?
All them carrots.
So,
Which ones?
what?
I know what 2018 vision is. No, we don't have to get into vision. podcast.
Okay.
What I really want to talk about is this story. Because when I was a kid, I was always under the assumption that Mario was in his dream the whole time, and I wasn't. And at the end, you're supposed to get surprised that he's still in his dream or whatever. But now, looking at it, I see that he supposedly gets out of his dream, and then
Yeah.
And goes on a picnic.
and goes on a picnic, and then he's in his dream again. Did Mario Brothers invent Inception before Inception even came
I
out?
think so.
Yes.
Dream within a dream here?
Yes. That's what happened.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
they didn't have Leonardo DiCaprio.
Did they not?
Maybe not.
Is
Unless
Mario's
that's Toad.
top still spinning? Or is did he get
Is it still beside his bed spinning?
That's funny.
Yeah.
So I think Super Mario 2 invented, or at least inspired the movie Inception.
Mm-hmm.
Anticipated Inception.
Yeah, it's a dream within a dream.
Yeah.
Mario wakes up from one dream and is still in a dream. At the end, when he wakes up from his dream, is he in another dream?
I don't know.
That could explain the entire Mario universe.
He's only ever actually defeated Bowser once.
No,
Everything-
he's actually just like a regular plumber.
Yeah. He just dreams
That's
this.
it. He's just a-
He just dreams this all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, and every Mario game is just another level into the dream, And this one just happens to be really, really deep because it's really weird.
So let's imagine Mario though here in this scenario. So he's rescued Princess Peach from the first game, and he's had this weird dream, and he goes and has a picnic with Princess, who's clearly he's saved. And he thinks that was a rough go around on the first Mario. And then he has to walk up these steps, and he opens his door, and he realizes he's going to have to do all this over again. What's his first thought? Son of
It's
a...
probably just like, ugh. And it's not just steps. Like, he has to go into a cave.
Right.
I mean, it's like he climbs up a mountain, goes into a cave, walks upstairs. I mean, I would see the cave and just be like, you know what, I'm going back to the picnic.
That's exactly
No.
right. Yeah.
What? It's not like he has to save anybody, right?
Yeah.
The princess is already there with him. She doesn't need saving this time. Why does he even bother?
Yeah, just turn
I mean,
around, go home. Yeah.
Was the dream that powerful? Where like, it's like, this dream told me to go. No, you know what? It's just a dream. Not bothering with.
The last time I checked, I don't, in real life, I don't follow through with my dreams.
Right.
Like I had a dream the other night that I was Ross Perot's press secretary guy. Okay, I didn't come out of that dream and call Ross up and be like, hey buddy, you want to make another run, go at it?
Is Ross
here's the
Perot
thing,
still
if you were
alive?
Going out for.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, but I think the question is, if you decided just to have a picnic after the dream, and Ross Perot showed up and said he needed a press secretary, would you be his press secretary?
Touche. I probably would.
Yeah. This is very true. Yeah. Okay, you want to keep going through the manual a little bit?
Sure.
Mm.
Yes.
So this is just, basic rules of the game. Tells you what jumps and all that. And then it goes through every character.
There's only 2 buttons, so...
It goes through every character, telling you what each character does. And of course, Mario is just average. It pretty much says. Luigi is the best jumper.
That's sad.
Yeah. But it's not as sad as Toad, which they pretty much say Toad can't do anything. And Princess...
Which is weird, because I always played as Toad.
Yeah. But the only thing... Well, it does say Toad has the best lifting power, and his jumping does not change regardless if he's holding something. So, whatever. Alright. One thing about this... interesting about this game is... in the opposite of Super Mario Brothers, the original Super Mario Brothers and Super Mario Brothers 3, you start off as Big Mario, and when you get hit, you go to Small Mario. Instead of starting off as small and needing to go big.
Mm-hmm.
So, for my question is... about
One of the many
that.
benefits of dreaming. You start off a lot bigger than you are.
He's not dreaming. It's an interrupted picnic.
Oh.
No, but he is dreaming. Because at the end he wakes up. It's a dream. It's a dream within a dream, John. Don't you understand?
I'm still on the picnic.
Okay.
Here's my question about Mario in general. From not just this game, but for original Mario and Super Mario Bros. 3. Is the real Mario small Mario and everything's just big and he needs to get up to size? Or is real Mario big and everything's just his size? Which one's real Mario? Big Mario or little Mario?
Oh, it's like a philosophical
That
question.
does sound philosophical.
Mhm.
I'm thinking he's little Mario.
So everything's just a lot bigger than him?
See, I think he's Big Mario.
And then he gets small.
Mm-hmm.
See, what I'm thinking, though...
You,
my thoughts are... He eats a mushroom and gets bigger, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And then he gets hit and he gets smaller. But if he gets hit when he's small, he dies. John, if I were to hit you with some kind of instant death punch,
With a Goomba.
would you die? Probably.
if it's an instant death punch, then
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, let's say you eat a mushroom and it means you can take 2 instant death punches. Now, is original John the pre-mushroom John or the post-mushroom John? I don't know. But, I'm just thinking the real John is the pre-mushroom John.
I think the real John would be the Big Mushroom John, because that's the John I'd want to be all the time.
But you can't always be what you want to be.
Well, I know. That's why I'm not an astronaut.
I'm not an astronaut because I'm scared of space.
Well,
All I
there
heard
you
is
go.
we may need to drug test John.
Okay,
So
John.
he's on mushrooms. So anyway, goes through, and then it tells you how to do each thing. how to carry and throw things. Let's go through here. It tells you what everything is. Mushroom block, bomb. Oh, here we go. Go to subspace with magic. If you find a magic potion, try throwing it. When you do that, a door will appear. You'll enter the subspace if you press the top of the control pad while in front of the door. The grass in subspace will turn into coins until you use magic twice in that area. If you place a door in a certain place, there will be a heart that will increase your life meter. So you're going in the subspace. So,
now, was there anybody else? I don't know if you guys did this. That did you carry the potion around and try to find like secret things?
I didn't, but I know you can do that.
Yeah, like I would carry the potion around the entire level and try to find stuff, which usually just ended up with me finding nothing.
Yeah.
But I always kind of assumed there were secrets out there that you could find.
Well,
Yeah.
I would always just try to find the best, like, with the most grass, so that I could get more coins. But no, I never really looked for secret things. And then we get to our characters, and we have some of people's favorites. The Shy Guy, of course. Ninja 1 and Ninja 2. Bezo. Let's see.
Sorry, that's just a funny name.
Birdo might be my favorite name. Birdo.
Does the manual have the story on Birdo?
Birdo, he serves as a means of transportation in the world of dreams. Shy Guys often ride on him. That's the story we got here.
That's the story of Birdo?
No, wait a minute. I'm just, like Birdo, like the dinosaur that spits eggs at you?
Oh, no, that's not Birdo. Ostro. That's Ostro.
Okay. Does it have the story on Ostro?
Wait,
Yeah,
really?
and you're
That's
gonna
Ostro?
Yeah,
Like I always thought it was Birdo.
I always thought it was Birdo, too.
yeah, Ostro. Here you
You're
go.
blowing my mind right now, Justin.
So,
Oh.
here we go. You ready for this? This one's pretty funny. He thinks he is a girl, and he spits eggs from his mouth. He'd rather be called Birdetta.
Okay, wait. So Ostro would rather be called Birdetta?
Yeah.
Yes.
Apparently he's a boy
He's a
that thinks he's a
cross-dresser
girl.
and would rather be...
Yeah, but this Birdo thing's to blow my mind. Wouldn't Birdo want to be called Birdetta?
But he's Birdo.
He's not Birdo.
But
He's
not-
Ostro.
No, Ostro is Ostro, but he wants to be called Birdetta.
Okay.
Birdo is just Birdo.
And he's fine with being called Birdo.
Yeah, because he's not the one dressing up like a girl.
Gotcha.
What's interesting is Birdo is an ostrich. And Ostro, well, I don't know what Ostro is, but shouldn't Birdo be called Ostro? I don't know.
You would think.
You would think, yeah.
Yeah.
Serious confusion here.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. This could be a whole podcast in itself. How about Wart? Wart is the most...
We'll bring that up on Testicle Talk.
You know he's editing that part of it out for the main podcast. So you say testicle talk and nobody's going to know what you're talking about.
Go to the YouTube and watch it.
Unless we put that... No, I take it. Actually, Justin, put all the testicle talk at the end of the podcast so that if anybody wants to stick around for testicle talk...
Yeah, stick around. Stay after this episode for Testicle Talk.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, how about Wart? Wart, he is the most mischievous of all in the world of dreams. He created monsters by playing with the Dream Machine. All right.
Wasn't that an 80s like new wave band? The Dream
Maybe.
Machine?
That's a perfect name for an 80s new wave
I
band.
think that's who's that guy? The guy that's really good at guitar, John. What's his last name? Starts with a P. John
Not me.
Petrucci?
Petrucci. That's his band's name. The Dream Machine.
Petrucci?
That's his band's name. Dream Machine.
No, I think it's Dream Theater.
Ah, shoot.
Isn't it Dream Theater?
I thought it was Dream Machine, but you might be right.
Okay, now we're going into prog metal talk with
Yeah.
It is Dream Theater.
I know some of my prog metal. All right.
Okay. All right. So who?
Okay.
Anyway.
Moving. So, are we done with the manual?
Yeah, we're done.
Because I have a question if we're done with the manual.
We're done with the manual.
Have you beat the game? Have you guys beat the game before in the past?
I have never beat this game.
Yes, I have beat the game.
I don't think I have personally beat it, but I recall, John, you and I went through every Mario game a long time ago.
Yes.
I think that's when we beat it, but I don't think I personally beat it. I think I watched you beat it.
Yeah, I beat it. If I remember correctly, I think he got either frustrated or bored or something, and kind of let me carry on with Mario 2, and then we were also playing Mario 3 at the same time.
Yeah, spoiler alert, I'm not a big fan of this game, and I got bored with it. And I get easily bored with it. I kind of got frustrated at some points, but I was committed, so I beat it. I'm glad you did, because we wanted to beat every Mario game. That was kind of a quest, and so I'm glad you stepped in, took the reins there, made it happen. But for me, there's something about this game that just doesn't feel right, and it could be partly because it's just such a departure from Mario, that the typical Mario, that it just something's not right for me. I mean, you're throwing things instead of jumping on people, and then the physics feel off. They don't feel like they're the same either.
See, I feel like this game is a little more exploration than what you do in Mario 1. Well, Mario 1 especially, because you can't go backwards.
Right.
But even more so than like Mario 3, because Mario 3 there's a timer, so you're kind of shooting for the end goal. There's there's coins and like a score that rings up. Mario 2 just feels like you're kind of walking around until you get to the end.
Yeah, I mean, this game is awesome. I mean, it's just, I really think I would have loved it if it didn't have Mario characters in it, because it's thrown me off, It just blows my mind. And I understand that back in the day when it first came out, you only had Mario 1, and then you have Mario 2 here, so it's not that much of a departure, because you don't have it's kind of like what we talked about with Zelda, whenever we talked about Zelda 2, Justin, because you didn't have this set way of doing things. So it's not, I mean, even though it's a stark contrast to the first game, maybe it makes sense because you don't have that.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's unfair to compare it to Mario 3, but we should really only compare it with Mario 1.
Okay, well then in that case, Mario 1 is way, way better.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying that, but I mean it's like, if you're thinking like in terms of when it came out, you couldn't compare it to Mario 3 because Mario 3 hadn't come out yet.
Yeah, I know. I'm one of the strange people that's in the camp of Mario 1's better than 2 or 3, because I know most people think Mario 3 is the best, but I'm an oddball person that likes Mario 1 better than both of them. But that's neither here nor there. I just think this game is just weird. I don't know. It's good. Yeah. It's just weird, and it kind of bores me. I think the throwing mechanic is just kind of boring, and so the levels are a little long for that. And I understand the exploration thing too, which is cool. I like the potion and doorway mechanic where you can find like secret spots where if you throw the potion down in the perfect spot, you go to a secret place and stuff. I think that's really cool. I can't get into it. I don't know why.
I think for me, this was probably, I loved this game as a kid, and then as soon as Super Mario Bros. 3 came out, I immediately forgot about it. I think that, and I never really, I just kind of like I said, pushed it to the side. Mario 3 was so much better in my opinion. And it's not to say that this was a bad game, but of those three, it's definitely my third favorite. But that doesn't mean that, it's definitely in third, but it doesn't mean that it's bad, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I still loved it, and I still like it today. I mean, playing it this past week, like I really still enjoy it. I don't really agree with Michael on the boring part. I don't get bored with it, but it is a little long. So.
Well, I feel like this kind of leads into the next thing we're going to talk about, where like the graphics, the sound, the music, and everything. The graphics were obviously a huge step up from 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the graphics were definitely way better than they were in the first game, especially the backgrounds and stuff.
Yeah, and that was really fun. And I think across the board, Mario 1, 2, and 3, the music was excellent. And I think the music, especially in 2, was excellent.
The music in this game that's the shining light for me. I could, even if I didn't play the game, I could watch somebody play it, or I could be doing something else while somebody's playing it in the background just because I love the music of this game. Like if I wanted to podcast with you, Justin, and I invite John over to play Mario 2 in the background, that's all gravy for me because I love the sound of the music in this game, and I love how they kind of take. You kind of hear some of the songs that you eventually hear in 3, and you kind of hear some certain callbacks to 1, but it all sounds just a little bit different, almost like a dream version of the songs. So I don't know. The music is just exceptional.
So, and I want to say, I could be wrong, and I'm sure somebody can jump in and correct me, but I want to say the sprite for Mario is almost identical to the one for 3. I think
It's pretty close. I
mean, it's really close.
I can't picture it perfectly right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if it's not the same, it's not far from different. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not very far.
Yeah, it's definitely close. I'm looking at a picture now. It's very close. So Super Mario Brothers 2 is definitely a excellent stepping stone graphically between 1 and 3.
And you said, and Justin, from your quiz earlier, I mean, this is where they have, was it the vertical ascension?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As part of the gameplay?
Yeah. Which was originally part of the original game, that Doki Doki Panic, but they still kept the same engine to make this game. So that's kind of how they got left in there. But going back on the music, I just got to say, Koji Kondo, who did this music, the game's music, probably one of the most influential Nintendo composers there was. I mean, he did all 3 Super Mario Brothers. He did the Legend of Zelda games. He didn't do 2. We talked about that on the podcast. But, I mean, just some of the more famous music for Nintendo was created by Koji Kondo.
Yeah, and let's not beat around the bush here. Doki Doki Panic was made by Shigeru Miyamoto and the team that makes Mario games. So it's not like it's not like it was made by a chump team and then they said, well, let's just throw some Mario characters in there. No, this game was made by the team that makes the Mario game. So it's an excellent game.
Right.
Yeah, it's solid. Well, that's so is it fun? Is it worth it?
I don't know. How much does it go for, Justin? Do you know?
Used.
You got any online prices?
Yeah, used starting at $18. New in box, $300. Which, I mean, that's going to be a collectible, but
Wow.
Yeah. But I think definitely.
So you said 18 for just like a regular used copy?
Yeah, I think definitely worth $20 for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say that. I just personally have to mask my eyes from the fact that it's a Mario game. I think
we should get you Doki Doki Panic.
Yeah, I think if somebody were to give me the Doki Doki Panic game and I were to play it, I don't know what the characters are in that game. I think they're like Arab people or something. I don't know. Middle Easterners. I think that's what they are, John. I'm not racist. I think that's what they are. Anyways.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you were to give me Doki Doki Panic, I would probably like that better than this game just because I'm not thrown off by the Mario aspect.
Yeah. I don't know. I
think that's worth it. $20 for.
Yeah, I think it's worth it too.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet. So what was?
So that's. I think we've talked a decent amount about the game.
Yeah. So you want to do some retrofitted trophies? Yeah. Are you there?
I do want to do some retrofitted trophies. But first,
a word from our sponsors.
A word about our sponsor.
Okay.
I've mentioned these guys a couple times, and this may be the last little sponsorship of these guys, but the Idle Man podcast / clothing place. If you're into like super hip clothing, which I personally am not because I can't afford all this super awesome hip clothing, but if you are into it, the Idle Man is a cool place to go. And what I like about what they do is they market their clothing, but they also do like a podcast, and they're on SoundCloud, and they talk about music, which I guess kind of matches up. Music and clothing, we all know, kind of go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
Can you have musical clothing?
I don't know. We need to talk to the Idle Man and find out if they can do musical clothing.
Let's
for us.
ask the Idle Man if they can do something on musical clothing.
Like as you walk, your pants are like.
I would be down with that.
And if you run, it's like a metal song. It's like. But if you're just walking slow, maybe it's like a somber tune. Get
the Idle Man.
Let's get the Idle Man on the phone, and let's get talking with him. We need to patent this idea, stat, because I think this is a novel idea.
I think they would be into that.
Yeah. All right.
Especially if it's hip.
Yeah. But check out the Idle Man if you like cool clothing, and if you like electronic music, that's a lot of what they talk about. So I'd like to dabble in some electronic music here and there. Yeah. So thank you, Jason.
Yes.
Thank you.
Quick, I'm going to tell you something after the podcast about a synthesizer online.
An online synthesizer.
It's a virtual synthesizer, so it's like double electronic.
I gotcha. Okay. All right. Retrofitted trophies.
Retrofitted trophies.
Do you have any, Justin?
I do. John, did you bring any?
Did you say to or I do?
Yeah. Yes. No. Maybe. Where we at?
And I'd like to award the Girl Power Trophy to Princess Peach for a strong debut showing. You know, I think one of the last times we'd seen her was in Donkey Kong, and she's just kind of captured by Donkey Kong standing on top of a building.
Well, John, I'm going to stop you there. Because our listeners, our D-padders, are going to get angry with you.
Oh.
That is not Princess Peach in Donkey Kong. That is Pauline,
Oh,
Mario's girlfriend at the time.
Well, I apologize, but
It's okay.
well, she still gets the Girl Power Trophy for taking an active role in the game, and can be your main hero all the way through.
Yeah.
So the Girl Power Trophy goes
I like
to Princess Peach.
Girl power.
I like it. And now Ostro is very angry because he really wanted that trophy.
Well,
He really wanted the girl power trophy.
sorry, Ostro,
Yeah.
Burdetta.
We didn't even talk
whatever
about
your
the
name
fact that you're jumping on eggs that are flying and picking them up and throwing them at Ostro.
That makes me feel weird feelings.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Yeah, that's I do engineering stuff, which deals a lot with physics,
Mm-hmm.
and I have no idea how that math would work.
The math of standing on an egg,
That's flying.
Then
You're
picking
riding the egg.
and then picking up the egg.
Yeah, it just doesn't work. It's blowing my mind. Okay.
Right.
Anyways,
Okay. All right, I got one.
I've got six, by the way.
Oh man.
My goodness.
Trophies. So
we're going to be here a while.
no, 4 of them I can run through quick because they're all tied together.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Boom Goes the Dynamite, and that is kill 5 enemies with a POW block.
Oh. Now can you get that one right off the bat in 1-1? The first time you see a POW block? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, if you can gather 5 enemies
Yeah.
around you.
But I'm trying I think right there when you pick it up, there's 5 guys.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Is it 4 or 5? I can't remember.
I don't know. I can't remember. Okay, I've got one called Little Nemo ? And that is beat the game without dying. Because then you're the Dream Master.
All right, I like that one. John, you got any more?
Give me a couple seconds, I might think of
Okay, well
one.
then here comes another one for me. It's called Over Easy. And that is beat Birdo. Or not Birdo.
Ostro.
Burdette.
Verdetta?
Burdetta. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
Burdette. Over Easy.
How about yes, we all wear masks, and that is steal the key from Fanto and unlock the door. So there's
Nice.
several occasions where you can do that. But
I love the reference.
mm-hmm.
So another retro trophy would be the Magic Carpet Ride.
Ooh.
So steal a carpet and hitch a ride.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, that's nice. Do you want me to? I've got 4 that all go together. So whenever you're ready for me to give you my last 4, I will.
Just go ahead and do it.
Just go ahead and do it. Okay. These are tied. I decided to give a trophy to beating the game as each character, but I wanted to put them in Olympic event format. So the triathlon trophy is beat the game as Mario because he's an all-arounder. The high jump trophy, beat the game as Luigi. The long jump trophy, beat the game as Peach. And can anyone guess what the Toad trophy is?
Shot put.
No. Well, that's a good one, though.
I don't know what.
Weightlifting.
Oh,
Weightlifting.
Yeah. Nice.
So the trophy I had for beating the game is the Blistex trophy for beating Wart.
I was going along that lines. I was going to make one that was the duct tape trophy, which apparently, Michael, I think you know this. Duct tape is kind of a home remedy for warts. So.
I actually got rid of I had some warts about, when was it, John? Like, whenever I was living with you, it was like 6 years ago or something. And I actually had some, and I put duct tape on them, and within like a couple months, 2 or 3 months, I got them to go away.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah. Any of our listeners, the Wart Podcast, you got your warts, you can take care of them, just...
We will send you a roll of duct tape.
We will send you a roll of duct tape and a pumice stone, and you'll knock them right out.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Okay. How about a rating?
We'll put that section on.
Okay. Game rating.
Game rating.
How are we going to rate it? Type of wart? Are there different types of warts?
Oh, there's...
We're not, no, let's not go there.
No.
Let's not go there. Let's not go there, please. Some of our listeners may be eating dinner.
Right.
I give this game 8 out of 10 onions.
What about
Okay, how about a vegetable? A vegetable. That would be perfect.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. I've got mine right off the bat because of John. I'm going to give it an onion.
Okay.
And my reasoning is because I don't like onions, but a lot of people do. And I think that's pretty much the case with this game. I like it okay, but I don't really like it. But a ton of people love this game, so it's an onion to me.
Okay. I like that.
What's your rating, Justin?
I'm gonna go with a radish. And
Radish. That's a solid.
the reason I'm gonna go with a radish
It's a solid
is...
vegetable.
What? What'd you say?
It's a solid vegetable.
It's a solid vegetable.
Yeah.
It's nice and firm.
I'm gonna go with a radish, and it's one of those vegetables that not a lot of people like, but they don't give it a chance. And if you give it a chance, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So.
Yeah, well, 10 million people gave this radish a chance.
Yeah.
According to the quiz game.
Yeah.
Right. But how many people do you think bought it just because it was a Mario game?
I think probably 7 of those 10
7
million probably bought it just because it was Mario.
Right. So, okay, John, go ahead.
No, I gave my rating 8 out of 10 onions.
Oh, so I give it an onion. You give it 8 onions.
Well, 8 out of 10 onions.
Okay. All right.
Out of 10 possible onions.
Yeah, out of 10 possible onions, this one gets 8.
Okay, fair enough. How about we got some listener feedback?
Oh, yes. I have it pulled up.
You do?
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
Solid.
I've got the voicemails and iTunes reviews also.
Sweet. All right, I'm going to run through these on Facebook. I'm going to try to do it quickly. I think there's like almost 30. So,
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
all
right.
Thank you, Facebook fans.
Yeah.
Rapid fire feedback from the D-padders. Go.
Right. All right. So Kyle Murphy said it was one of my favorite Mario games on the NES growing up. Nick Stevens, I think he does some kind of podcast. I don't know, on some irrelevant system. But
He does several podcasts on several irrelevant. Just kidding.
Just kidding, Nick.
No, it's Genesis Gems. He says, great memories. This is actually my favorite Mario game on the NES. Weird memory. The music during boss fights always kind of creeped me out. It reminded me of a horror flick.
Yeah, I can see that.
And Paul Stevens agreed with Nick on the next comment. Joe Koppel said, "Oh boy." In retrospect,
I think it's Copel.
Copel. Sorry, Joe.
Yeah, we've got that wrong every time. he even actually emailed us Facebook messaged us a recording of him saying his last name because we keep getting it wrong.
Joe
So
Copel.
I'm pretty sure it's Copel.
Copel. Sorry, Jar. Sorry,
Copel.
Joe. Joe's one of our biggest fans.
He's an honorary dude, in fact.
Yes, we like Josh Copel.
That was a joke.
Yeah,
Joe.
yeah. Okay, oh boy. In retrospect, this is the weakest of the Marios, but at the time, this was a bold move by Nintendo to think outside the box. I love how each character had different advantages, and some levels were easier based on that advantage. Plus, the main boss is a mouse. A mouse! With hip, late 80s black Ray-Bans and throwing bombs. I miss Bowser, but as a kid, I remember I loved this change, and what I didn't love come 1990 didn't matter because Mario 3 made up for all of it. Tim,
Hey, I just want to mention. I hate to keep interrupting, but
go ahead.
the something we didn't mention during the show is where did all these enemies and characters go? I thought the mouse guy with the shades was awesome. I think he should have came back to some other Mario game, but we never see any of them. Maybe do we see Shy Guys?
It was a dream.
I know, but the Shy Guy, he's in Mario Kart, so why can't we have Mauser in Mario Kart? Wasn't his name Mauser?
Mouser, yeah.
Yeah.
What happened to Ostro?
I don't know. Yeah, we could live without Ostro.
Birdo.
Birdetta.
Whatever.
Whatever your name
Well,
is.
Birdo's in Mario Kart, right?
There is a Birdo in Mario Kart, and he is Birdetta Ostro. That's who it is.
Yeah.
It's that guy. Girl.
Finally changed her name.
Anyway.
His name, her
Yeah,
name,
fine.
whatever.
Anyways.
All right.
Anyway.
Tim Van Autry says, I remember seeing an ad in Kmart's weekly ad for Mario 2 for some much smaller than normal amount. Days later, when we went there with my mom, they said there was no such deal. I felt they were lying, but as an 8-year-old, no one would listen. It was years later that I got Mario 2, and it was a major letdown after having played Mario 3 so much.
Yeah, if
Sorry.
he would have got it back when he was supposed to have gotten it, he probably would have liked it.
Right, that's true.
So, negative review to Kmart.
Yeah.
They get
Yeah.
0 out of 10 onions.
This is
They get
why
Brussels
Kmart
sprouts.
This is why Kmart lost to Walmart. This reason. All right,
Breaking
Kyle
8-year-old
McClure-
And this is also why we will never get a Kmart sponsorship.
Sorry,
Exactly.
Kmart.
Right. All right, Kyle McClure said, so many that continue to today. Memories, I guess. Paul J. Power said, Birdo, Mauser, warp zones, the princess can hover, potions create doors that lead to a negative world, flying carpets, flying and attacking faces when you pick up a key, memorable music, all this and so much more. Andy Layton said, didn't play Mario 2 until I had Mario All-Stars for SNES, grew to love the game. Not in my top 3 Mario games, but one that I like to pop in every once in a while. Nick Stevens said, this is also where I decided I liked Luigi better than Mario. So it didn't help that I was the little brother. Always got Luigi in Super Mario 1. Little brothers get Luigi.
It's true.
That's usually what happens.
Jake McClanahan said, I got this one late. After 3 came out, actually. I begged and pleaded for it. Got it for my birthday in 1991. I remember playing that bad word out of it that day with my neighbors. I love this game. Jesse Benson said
I'm
this...
assuming you didn't actually say a bad word.
Right, yeah. Jesse Benson said this was one of the first games I remember my parents renting for me. I loved it then, I love it now. Steve Nick said that Flying Princess and Floating Luigi, though. My neighbor had the game a year prior to my NES ownership, so we got a lot of nothing done as youngins in '88. Ryan Jackson's just said Floating Princess. Eric
Concise.
Yeah. Eric Epling said, first NES I bought with my own, first NES game I bought with my own money in 4th grade when it was released. Cost me $60 in '88. And then Clayton South, who's one
He's
of
a
our...
rich 8th grader.
Yeah.
He'd saved up for 8 years.
Yeah, okay.
Clayton South, I think, put a lot of thought into his comment here, so I'll take my time reading this one. I like this game more than Super Mario Brothers on the NES. It captured my attention because it was nothing like Super Mario Brothers. Whereas Super Mario Brothers was left to right, side-scrolling only, with no ability to go left. SMNB 2 introduced freedom of movement, a world with doors, a sub-world of sorts with the potion bottles in each level, bombs, and a lot of new enemies, many of whom were giving life and history in the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. Mauser, Triglide, Birdo, Shy Guy. This game was the single act that opened up the Mario universe with the characters we love today. Super Mario Bros. May have been a reskin of Doki Doki Panic, but as a kid, I didn't know that, and it's done more for the Mario universe than the Doki Doki universe, if there even is such a thing. Knowing that it was a reskin of another game doesn't change the contribution this game made to the Mario universe or lessen my enjoyment. It is a Mario game, and the integration of the characters in the NES lore confirms that Nintendo sees this game for what it is, a really solid Mario title loved by millions. Francis,
Good. He brought up a good point that I forgot to mention. It did tie in with a cartoon,
yes,
like perfectly,
yeah,
which was cool. I watched that cartoon constantly.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah. So it's on Netflix too, by the way. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I know what I'm doing after this.
Yeah, exactly.
Going to work.
Going to work. Yep.
All right. So Francisco Ruiz said it was a dream the whole time. Frustrated that I spent so long playing it for that ending, but definitely a fun game. Pow.
Yeah, shout out to, we got 2 feedbacks from Francisco and Paul Powers, so shout out to their show, Retro Rewind podcast.
All right, and Gabe Van Gilder? Gabe Van Gilder? Is that what we're going with? Okay.
Go with whatever you want to go with. He may have to send us a message.
Yeah.
Pronouncing his name.
Right.
Pronouncing his name.
Just
like Jim Copel.
Jim Capel.
Yeah, that guy.
Oh, poor Joe. All right. So Gabe said, I first played this at my cousin's house in Canada. Like I did Mega Man, after playing it, they showed me the ropes, how to beat Mauser. I guess he meant beat Mauser, not be Mauser. Love the game ever since. It's my favorite. I love the game ever since. It's my favorite Mario game. It wasn't supposed to be the GBA version with the extra mecha boss and voices is my favorite version. I got it free, I think, with the GBA. Advance launch, can't remember. I remember having to get a extra light attachment just to see the game. LOL. Amazing times. Gotta get the GBA version on Wii U sometime. I own the original cart for GBA. And then he put up a picture of it.
Nice.
Douglas Delecki Jr. This is my favorite of all the 8 16-bit bit Mario games. I love being able to choose who you used, and it had a lot more going on than the original. Ryan Jackson said, retrofitted trophy, I am number 4, beat the game 4 times playing as each character. Douglas Delecki Jr. said, retrofitted trophy, I am the key master, use the key to kill 5 enemies. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think Douglas, I may get this wrong, but I think Douglas has a blog. We should plug that. I think it's This Guy's Retro Gaming blog or something, so shout out to that.
Cool. And Greg Polander said, this is a really fun and underrated game. What is it with the second game of a classic series being so different from all the other ones? Zelda 2 and Castlevania 2 come to mind. Nintendo made some changes to the Doki Doki Panic feel like a Mario game. We got this for Christmas in 1988 along with Zelda 2 and played both games straight for the next few weeks. First one and then the other until I had finished both. Really good music, and I like how different characters have different abilities. Having said all that, while I like it, I think it's pretty low for me on the Mario scale. Super Mario Bros. 1, 3, and World were all better. And he said, retrofitted...
Yeah. Go ahead.
Retrofitted trophy, who needs saying now? B, use the princess for the entire game.
Yeah. Shout out to his show, SNES Podcast. But he also brings up a point how the second in a series always is a little bit different.
Right.
This game kind of parallels Super Mario Brothers World or Super Mario World 2 also, because that's you all of a sudden you're playing as Yoshi and you're throwing eggs, and it's vastly different from Super Mario World. So they kind of paralleled themselves in the second on both systems there.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Well, that's it for the Facebook feedback.
Sweet.
A lot, and now I have to get a drink of water because I'm parched.
Okay.
Thank you to everybody for
take you a drink of water, Mr. And we got 2 voicemails, both from Dude J. So
Okay.
I will play them.
Sweet.
This is the first one. This is from they're both from a fairly long time ago. So here you go.
Dudes. Jude J. Jorgensen calling in. I know I've been pretty quiet in the last, month and a half, 2 months or something like that, but reason being, I don't know anything about the games you guys have been playing. That, and I keep looking on the Two Dudes forums, and nothing's getting posted in there. I feel like I keep going to a ghost town all the time, and it's kind of sad. I thought I was getting to know so many people on there, and everybody just kind of stopped posting stuff, and so I couldn't even do anything anymore. So I guess what I'm saying is I'm kind of alone. I'm really alone. I'm so alone. So alone.
I feel like we caught Jay at a vulnerable time.
Yeah.
Poor Jay. See, the thing is, Jay, he was doing a good job of posting in the forums.
Mm-hmm.
He, along with a couple others, but it was like 3 people. So we kind of stopped doing the forum thing and moved to Facebook group. And the Facebook group is like booming, and there's like tons of people posting on there, and everybody loves doing it. So Jay, I know you may not get on Facebook a lot, and I hate it. I hate it for people who don't like Facebook. But if you go to our Facebook group, it acts kind of like a forum, and there's just tons of stuff going on there. So
Basically, we're saying we miss you, Jay.
we miss you, Jay. Come to the
back.
group. Come to the group. Join the group. I think you're in the group. Just be active in the group. That's all you gotta do. All right, here's another one from Jay from like a month after that. So it's been a while since we've done calls and recorded shows. So here you go.
Dudes, it's Dude Jorgensen calling. I just listened to your Return of Super Mario Brothers episode. I didn't realize that was going on, and I'm kind of bummed. So I guess I'm going to share my Super Mario Brothers story, even though it's not going to be on the Super Mario Brothers episode. I hope that's cool with you guys. But
It's cool.
I got my Nintendo back for Christmas, I think of '88. And as soon as we got home, because we did it at my aunt's, and I opened it up, and it was in there, I was like, I don't even know what this is, because I'm only like 3 or 4 years old. And so my dad hooked it up as soon as we got home, and that first Goomba killed me twice. And then I got the mushroom, and I was pretty excited because I was big. And then I got the fire flower, and for some reason I thought from that point, like, the fire flower had nothing to do with fire, and my fingers were too small to touch both buttons. So I figured the fire flower was actually like an anti-gravity sort of thing, because like that, if you look at where you get the first fire flower, like it's a natural progression to go upward. And so I spent the rest of that first level as high as I could, and I didn't realize for about 3 or 4 days that if I pressed the B button, I would shoot fire. And obviously I was a little too young to start reading the manual. So, yeah, I just thought I'd share that story with you, and you can put it in an episode at some point in time. Talk to you later.
Thanks, Jay. Similar story to what we had whenever we were talking about how we were super young and didn't know what we were doing. We got a couple texts, too, that I've not been reading. So here's one from 401 area code. Says, dudes, love the new episode. Can't wait for the next episode. Did you guys totally abandon Silver Surfer? I understand if you did, that game's worse than Deadly Towers. So no, we haven't abandoned it. I think we actually may be trying to reschedule that lost episode. Text from 586 from back in February. Hey guys, listen to the Super Mario episode, and I loved the little dance trophy because I always did that growing up. So from me, here's a remix trophy for that. And it says, climb the vine to the bonus world and slowly walk to the right until the moment the vine disappears. Then turn back left and you can climb again and do the dance hovering in midair. So that's cool. Have to try that. So thank you for that. All right. There's the feedback. Oh, nope. iTunes. We got a bunch of iTunes reviews too. So, let's start from, and if I repeat this, then I'm sorry. If I repeat an old one. So, let's see. I'll let John cover these. Start from here, John, because I think that's basically, there and up.
So, Rob2586 says it's an excellent game-by-game podcast dedicated to the NES. 5 stars. Thank you, Rob. It's a great podcast dedicated to all things NES, views of funny skits and special guests. Each episode focuses on a single NES game. If you're a fan of the NES, you can't go wrong subscribing to this show. So thank you, Rob. Good retro show, 3 stars from Riker758. But do something about the audio, it's terrible.
We agree.
We're working on it, Riker.
Trying.
I like it, 5 stars from Jess the Gangsta. 2 Dudes in a NES and Tap Dog are the best retro gaming podcasts. As the Lord of Darkness, I prefer to be less clean.
Tap Dog, huh? It's Tadpog.
Tadpog.
That's cool.
Tap Dog.
We're going to start calling it Tap Dog now.
Sounds good to me. Great podcast for NES fans. 5 stars from John E. Baylor. If you enjoyed all those hours you spent on the couch or on the floor playing games like Final Fantasy and Super Mario Brothers, you'll have a great time listening to these dudes. They also have some interesting interviews.
And John apparently is the author of Death Dealt by the Hand. No, Death Dealt the Hand. Sorry. Death Dealt the Hand. I haven't looked that up yet, so can't comment. It's a book, I guess.
Yeah, sounds like a book. One of the best retro podcasts out there. 5 stars from Joshua Witt. The 2 dudes make going back to the land of Nintendo an entertaining trip. Seriously, this is one of the best podcasts out there. Whether you're driving, at work, or taking a Carl, 2 dudes help pass the time, and it's a blast. Glad we could get Carl's name out there.
I like how he puts pass in quotation marks.
Yeah, he put pass in quotation marks. So, solid jokes from Joshua Witt. I went to Blockbuster and found this mysterious podcast box. 5 stars from Lurmpy. This show makes you die a lot, but there are infinite continues. Would rent again.
Nice. All right.
Lurmpy, we're going to hit you up for money.
You've got a few late fees and some back rental fees.
And you didn't rewind the podcast the last time you returned it. So.
Okay, so shout-outs again, Retro Junkies. Go check them out. John, you got anything else you want to say?
Thanks for having me on.
Sweet.
I appreciate it.
You're
It's
more than
always a
welcome.
fun time.
More than welcome anytime, and I really like this dynamic of having somebody in the room with me. Feels good. If we can ever get Justin to move closer, maybe we can do this live all the time. Yeah, okay. So show news. If you're not hearing this right now, then you have the wrong feed. Because we're no longer posting episodes on Podomatic. So if you're using Podomatic, you don't hear this right now.
Or you don't have a computer.
Yeah. So, so there's that. If you do have Podomatic, then instead of this, you're hearing a message from Justin saying, hey, you're not going to get any more episodes until you change your feed. So, there you go. Also, I just wanted to mention our Patreon campaign. It's a way for us to do some really cool stuff with the show, as well as cover our costs of bandwidth and whatnot.
And audio.
And audio upgrades and stuff. So the Patreon basically is a way for you to support the show. You can go on patreon.com/NESdudes and you can donate a certain amount monthly. I think you can go as low as $0.05 a month. So if you think we're worth $0.05 a month, give us $0.05 a month. If you think we're worth $0.05 an episode, then maybe round that up to because we do 3 or 4, maybe 20 cents a month, something like that. If you feel like we're worth more than that, then give us more than that. You get certain rewards for certain tiers, like you can pick the next game we do, or if you want to pay us a ton of money a month, you can come on the show for a whole season. There's different rewards, and there's also different goals. There's a couple really cool goals that we want to reach, if we get up to, I can't remember how much I put on there, but if we get up to a certain amount a month, then we're going to actually try to take that money, get the game buy the game for the show and then give that game out each show. If we can get up to enough to where we can afford to do that, then I will go get the game and then I will give it out on the show. And then also, we would really love to do a NES-centric retro junk box where we fill a box full of NES stuff and send it through a list of people, and you can just take out what you want from the retro junk box, fill it back up, and send it on to the next person. All Nintendo/NES stuff. I think that would be really cool. And if we get a certain amount of money, then we can fill the initial box up with some really cool stuff and then send it on. So we'll try to do that too. But as far as the show goes, whether or not you donate on Patreon, it's not going to affect the show. We're just going to continue on like we are. There's not going to be any... I know some people do special bonus episodes and stuff only for their Patreon people, but we're not going to do anything like that. So we're just going to continue putting the show out. But we have actually already got some people donating, and it's afforded us the ability to no longer take on sponsors, so you won't hear any more sponsors on the show, other than the one that we're about to play right now, because he actually paid us, or he actually donated enough. He actually donated enough to us where I said we're going to give you a spot on the show to promote your stuff, because that was one of our rewards for people. So here is a quick promo for the Hunnick Outcast podcast. He's actually a dude, Outcast dude. So thank you, Outcast dude. We're going to play your promo right here.
We find here, along with
Wyatt Jones, the Puce Gargantua.
And we are Wild Stallions. No, we're Hunnick Outcasts. We're going to cover everything from kaiju to comics to TV to video games. You name it, we'll cover it. And you never know where we're going to be. Right now, we're on Facebook.com, we're on Spreaker, iTunes, Twitter, TuneIn Radio. We're also partnered with the Geekcast Radio Network. We're everywhere, man. We're even in your breakfast cereals.
In fact, this call is coming from inside your house.
Yeah. So check us out. All one word, Hunnick Outcast. And we have brand new artwork thanks to Renee Batista. Finally, a podcast that will never be questioned.
So, that's the Patreon. It's cool. It helps us, and it'll eventually help the general Deep Hatter population, because we're going to do some cool stuff with it if we can get up there. So, Justin, tell them where they can find us, perhaps.
Well, you can find us on many social media outlets: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Obviously, you can go to our webpage, nesdudes.com, twodudesandAnest.com, or nestdudes.com. And, of course, you can always call us or send us a text message to the number, Michael?
775-773-8761, or as I like to call it, 775-7retro1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right,
And
well, thanks
of
again,
course,
John.
iTunes,
Yep.
Stitcher, iTunes and Stitcher. Send us an iTunes review, and we will read it on air. If you make it really funny, then that's cool. If you want to throw in the name of your show or something, then say, hey, these dudes are awesome, super 5-star. Also, I do a show called Blank. So I'm okay with that.
Right.
I don't know if you're okay
Oh,
with
man,
that, Justin.
Blank's one of my favorite shows.
It's a good show. Blank is one of the best shows.
It's a great podcast, yeah.
All right, so here comes the tunage, bleeps and bloops for next week's game. Thanks again, John.
Thanks for having me
It was
on.
fun.
Yes, yeah, awesome.